Well, Greg and I have been here for not the longest time, so we're relative newcomers. I started coming out here back in the early 2000s, and Greg sort of about 2007, I think. So we've learned a little bit about the history, but the thing that's special this year is that our astronomical society, the Des Moines Astronomical Society, is celebrating its 50th anniversary. And that's kind of concurrent with the park. Actually, my understanding is that the park was acquired by Jasper County Conservation Board back in the late 60s, and they hired a consultant to sort of plan the park, and his name was Dennis Black. Dennis, in 1970, the year that DMAS was formed, actually became the Conservation Board director and really developed the whole park with his staff. So actually for about 10 years during the 70s, the Des Moines Astronomical Society people were looking for places to look at the stars, and this was one of the places they came. Mariposa Park was another, and I think Mariposa is about 50 years old a couple of years ago as well. And so they started coming here and ultimately felt that this was a good spot. And after looking at places in Polk County, Yellow Banks, and other places, they worked out an arrangement with Jasper County Conservation Board to build an observatory here. And this observatory was built then with funds either raised through grants that were written by the Conservation Board, and there were grants that were written by the Des Moines Astronomical Society, and there was money raised through various organizations. So actually for almost 50 years now, there's been cooperative relationships and more formal since the observatory was built. So it's really a wonderful relationship because the Des Moines Astronomical Society agrees to provide programming, operate the observatory, maintain and own the equipment, but the building was put in the name of the Conservation Board, and they maintain it. We use it jointly with the Conservation Board staff, and then of course we provide programming throughout the year. So this has really been a nice arrangement. Greg, you can kind of
well, the observatory was actually built in '83. It was open.
It was open in '83.
Yeah.
That's
so
correct.
When we say 50 years for the Des Moines Astronomical Society, we began as an organization about 1970. So it's the observatory is more recent than that date.
But the point is, there was actually observation activity going on actually since the very start.
Yeah.
And then
probably so.
This classroom edition was back in the early 2000s, so yeah. That was another joint project. So there have been upgrades throughout the years, and actually we're now looking to upgrade some of the optical equipment, and hopefully we'll be able to do that.
And I think one of the main reasons why there was interest in coming here to Jasper County and Ashton Wildwood Park is because of the dark conditions. So the club was started in 1970, Des Moines people mostly, and a lot of energy. There was the support of academia there, experts about astronomy, but locations in Des Moines were just had a huge problem with light pollution, and it wasn't going to get any better. So as the club grew and a lot of more people were interested, they began looking for where can we have a good dark location to do our observing. And so that's what brought us looking in the area, but a real welcome and partnership developed here in Jasper County. And so we're really grateful for that. It's been a great facility. Light pollution continues to be an issue as the years go by, so even in rural areas people like having bright lights, and so we're always advocating for dimmer lights as well, but we still do pretty well here, and we can see the Milky Way from here on a good clear night. It's impossible to see a Milky Way in an urban area like Des Moines. So that's part of what this mural depicts. Is this was actually the scene, and Norm and I helped with the artist know exactly where are the constellations positioned and where is the Milky Way positioned from this location. If we look south, in the summer of 2019. Approximately June, July was the month. So we see over here Sagittarius, and the teacup is this particular shape you see here, an asterism in the constellation Sagittarius. And to the left of it is the planet Saturn, which was right there at this particular time. And over on this side we see Scorpius, this constellation here, and above it was the planet Saturn, or Jupiter, excuse me. So that was the scene. The artist did a great job of depicting an imaginary scene of Iowa in early days, I guess, with buffalo as well. The buffalo are gone right now, but they would have been here once.
The other interesting thing about it was we helped him with a concept and basically said, why not do something like the sky looks like at about the same time, and it had to do with a variety of other things, but we sort of helped him develop an idea. The other interesting thing is the artist designed it, and then how many elementary school kids helped to paint it? There was a lot. There were, I'll bet there were more than 30, 40, 50.
Yeah.
So the artist would be out, and the kids would be out here painting backgrounds, painting the colors, and they were part of every part of this, and it was really interesting to watch.
A lot of fun.
Greg mentioned that we had sort of set the placement of the stars, like here is the teapot asterism. So if the star placement is wrong, we take full responsibility.
It's close. Ashton Observatory. We hope that you'll get a chance to come out sometime soon and visit us and see the mystery of the night sky. We are looking forward to being your guides and sharing with you our knowledge and helping you to enjoy the night sky over Iowa.